That is what caffeine dependency looks like. Eat your heart out, Peter McKinnon. I digress. It is Monday. Let's get into the news. So, kind of a slow news day. So, kind of a slower news day, hence the later posting for this. It took me a while to scrounge up some information, and after last week's debacle of me talking about film coming out because I misread the numbers as 2022 as opposed to 2023, I think part of my brain is still in denial that it's 2023, nearing the end of it, I should say. I thought I would do very good research in the news ahead, but unfortunately, that being said, I was not able to conjure up much news, so I only really have like 2.5 stories, really, like mostly just one, if anything, but that's okay. We'll talk about it briefly. So there's a Spanish, like is in the company or in the country, Spain, Spanish-based film company called Dubble Film, I'm assuming Double. This is the first time I've said it, and I think when I was reading it initially, like my brain was thinking bubble, so that explains the double. Anyway, Double Film has reduced some of their prices, and that's due to any number of factors. I think what happens after a certain point in time as a company streamlines its production and its shipping form and all that stuff, they're able to accrue more financial gains. And essentially what they're doing is they're taking that money that they're making and reducing that price, which I think is kind of smart. Double Film, however you pronounce it. I apologize for butchering that if I am indeed butchering that. It's fun film. Now, I say that because it's kind of like the Lomography film. To a degree, it's kind of like there was another film company that was doing stuff kind of similar to this, where it's like, let's make this look weird. It's stylized, it's meant to be experimental, it's meant to be fun. You should shoot it and like have fun with the results, kind of thing. That's I think the idea, the impetus behind this film. And I definitely think that there is grounds for that. However, at the price point of a lot of their film, it's kind of hard to justify that, because a lot of people go into shooting film with the idea of like, I can shoot one roll, maybe two. That's what I can afford right now. And with that being said, they're going to probably go for more reliable quality film. Like if you're looking at the Double Film or Dubble Film, whatever, they have a Cinema 800 film, and that's basically like a Cinestill 800T kind of knockoff. They wash the remjet off of 500 speed film, and then they're calling it Cinefilm, whatever. So taking that, it's like $15 a roll. Might as well just get Cinestill for like $15 a roll. Might as well get Portrait 800 for $15 a roll. I think Portrait 800 is probably more of that now, but I digress. So it's kind of hard to like want to shoot with these like fun things, because it's just like the economy, you know, the money's tight. You know, we're all cinching up our waistbands and not spending as much. So they're dropping the film prices, which I think is good. I think that's something you probably have to do in order to drown that yawn with some coffee. Oh, brother. Anyway, yeah, I think that's something you need to do to compete in this industry, which is actively becoming more competitive as new players are coming in with different options and so forth and whatnot. So that being said, they're dropping film prices. That's cool. Then also one of their films, which is the 400 treat film, which I'm not entirely sure what that is, but they are increasing it from 24 to 36. And Unclear. I think they might be lowering the price slightly on that, but due to the added 12 frames, the cost per frame ratio has dropped significantly to 35%-ish, which is cool. And then pair that with their film that they released last May, or this past May, I should say, which is called Glitch. It's black and white film with like staticking effect. It seems like they're kind of coming up. It's another player in that kind of repurposing film scene, which is cool. You know, it is genuinely kind of cool to see. The Glitch film goes for about $12 a roll. And again, a little bit expensive, but if you want that look and you don't know how to use Photoshop, that's an option for you. Moving on, I got the roll of Ferrania Orto 50 ISO ortho chromatico 120 format film. It expires in 3 years, so I best be getting on shooting that. And then I actually reached out to Ferrania and I was like, yo, love your work, big fan. And tell me the business. What's going on? And I got a response from them this morning, actually, which is why I kind of was waiting to do this video. I'm just going to read it out verbatim because that's probably going to be easiest. I can pretend like I know what I'm talking about to a certain extent, but with this stuff, I just feel like it's smarter to read straight from the horse's mouth. Yeah, I think that's the saying. So the Fania P30 Orto has a nominal sensitivity of ISO 50 and is responsive only to ultraviolet radiation, blue light, and green light. So that being said, I'm very excited. Basically what it's saying is that on the color spectrum of lights and stuff, things that emit more like red or orangish lights aren't going to be picked up as heavily as greens and blues, and ultraviolet lights will be. They have a quote here from Ansel Adams that's, "Orthochromatic film can give a landscape a brighter appearance as the green foliage is rendered with relatively light tones comparable to what we visually perceive. However, if the subject contains surfaces that reflect red, such as certain rocks, tree bark, and flowers, caution is needed as they will appear rather dark." So I think, you know, Ansel Adams said it best, just kind of exemplifying the use case of ortho film. And I was really excited to use this as like a portrait roll. And I think that this kind of reinvigorates that excitement. Like, I'm genuinely enthused to get to shoot with this. So I have like the charts here included. I'll put those up on the screen. And if you know what you're looking at, congratulations, because I do not. And I could pretend, again, to go through it in a way that would probably confuse you even more. But I think for the better of everybody watching, we can just move on from this point. That's pretty much it in terms of what I have for the news, except for I actually just finished the roll of modified film that was sent in. So I'll be sending that out to the lab today, as well as some other rolls that I've shot recently, and hopefully get the ball rolling on a video for this soon. Unfortunately, I only shot the first half of the roll in the sunny, bright conditions of Arizona while I was on vacation, and then the other bits I shot here in Portland. And people have access to weather apps and such. If you live in Portland, you know what it's been like. But if you are curious to know what like Portland winters are, the sun sets at like 4. It's been setting progressively earlier, and it's been very cloudy and not very bright. And I also work now mostly indoors in the hours in which the sun is out, of which of course you can't see because it's shrouded by clouds. So I'm very interested to see the end results here, but for the most part, very, very grateful for the roll. I'll be sending that out and making a video on that shortly. That's pretty much it for the news today. Like I said, not a lot going on, kind of a short one. And what I'm hoping to do this week is I got a lot of time today to get work done. I've got a lot of stuff I got to do, so I'm going to be dialing in, getting that stuff done. Hopefully I'm going to be making another Spotmatic video, because I made one like a year or so ago, longer now, I think probably like 2 years ago. And it's one of my least favorite videos that and I've made like a lot of stinkers, I have like a lot of videos now, but this one's definitely bad. And I get comments to it this day of like people like, oh, what are you talking about? And I'm like, if it wasn't for the monetary dependency I had on that video, I would probably just delete it. So I'm going to be making another Spotmatic repair video, because sorry about that. And I actually have a rolly cord right here that I'm working on currently, so I'm going to be making a video about that hopefully as well. And then this Friday, I'm going to have episode 2 of The Best Show that I'll be releasing. Season 3 kicked off to start last week. Unfortunately, due to the weird week schedule of like traveling back, not having a lot of free time, I didn't have time to like set up the episode how I wanted. So it was a bit of a soft launch, just like a little photo drive trip through northern Portland area. And it's not my favorite thing in the world. I got like 3 or 4 really good shots out of the Orwo Wolfen film, but for the most part it was kind of like meh. I didn't have like a lot of video like in my mind I thought I was recording more, but I guess I wasn't. This week's episode will be different. I'll be spending more time this week editing it, so it'll be a lot more smooth. It'll be a lot more fun and exciting. My editor, who was previously mentioned, is actually decided he doesn't want to work for me anymore, so that's exciting. He said something about having like a brother that I could try to hire on, but I don't think he's giving me glowing reviews on Yelp. So anyway, that being said, we'll be back at it. And if you have any questions, comments, news items, please comment them down below. Apologies again for last week and just totally dropping the ball on the pan film, whatever. I genuinely don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, that seems realistic. But anyway, that's life. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it as always. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, and I will catch you on the next one.